How to make money and use it wisely. A complete guide to building wealth and financial freedom. Money is one of the most important tools in modern life. Whether we like it or not, money affects many of our choices. It affects where we live, what we eat, the education we can access, the opportunities we can take, and the freedom we have. But here is something interesting. Many people spend their entire lives trying to make more money, yet they never learn how money actually works. They know how to earn, but they do not know how to keep. They know how to spend, but they do not know how to use money to create more value. And that is why today we are going to talk about two important questions. How do you make money? And once you have money, how do you use it wisely? This is not about becoming rich overnight. There is no magic formula. There is no secret button that will suddenly make millions appear in your bank account. Building financial security usually takes time, discipline, patience, and good decisions. But if you understand a few important principles, you can completely change the way you think about money. So let's begin. Part 1. Understand what money really is. Before learning how to make money, you first need to understand what money actually represents. Money is not just paper. Money is not just numbers on a screen. In many situations, money is a result of value. When you solve a problem for someone, you can create value. When you help someone save time, you create value. When you create something useful, entertaining, educational, or convenient, you create value. And when people believe that value is worth paying for, money can follow. Think about the businesses and people around you. A teacher helps people learn. A doctor provides medical care. A mechanic fixes problems. A designer creates useful or attractive products. A programmer builds software. A business owner creates products or services. A musician entertains people. A YouTube creator creates information or entertainment. Different jobs. Different skills. But there is one common idea. They provide something that other people value. So instead of asking only one question, how can I make money? Try asking another question. What problem can I solve? What skill can I develop? How can I become useful? Because the more useful you become, the more opportunities you may have. Money is often connected to skills, knowledge, trust, creativity, and the ability to solve problems. That is why one of the best investments you can make is an investment in yourself. Part 2. Learn a skill that people value. If you are starting with very little money, your skills may become your greatest asset. You do not always need a large amount of money to begin learning. Today, there are many ways to learn. You can read. You can watch educational videos. You can take courses. You can practice. You can study successful people in your field. But remember this. Watching is not the same as learning. And learning is not the same as practicing. You can watch 100 videos about photography and still take terrible pictures. You can watch 50 videos about business and still not know how to sell anything. Real progress usually begins when you practice. Choose a skill that interests you and has real-world value. For example, communication, sales, video editing, graphic design, programming, writing, marketing, photography, languages, customer service, problem solving, public speaking, or content creation. The specific skill is important, but consistency is even more important. You do not need to become the best person in the world. You simply need to become good enough to provide useful value. Imagine spending 1 hour every day improving a skill. 1 hour may not feel like much. But after 1 month you have practiced for around 30 hours. After 1 year you have invested hundreds of hours. Small improvements can become major differences over time. Most people underestimate what consistent effort can do. They want immediate results. They want success in 1 week. They want money in 1 month. But many valuable things take longer than we expect. So be patient. Learn. Practice. Make mistakes. Improve. And keep going. Your skills can become one of the foundations of your financial future. Part 3. Don't depend on only one source of income. One important financial principle is this. It can be risky to depend completely on only one source of income. Of course, having one job can be a great starting point. A stable job can help you pay your bills and build experience. But over time, it may be useful to develop additional skills or income opportunities. For example, someone might have a regular job and also do freelance work. Someone might create educational content online. Someone might start a small service business. Someone might sell a useful product. Someone might develop digital skills and work with clients remotely. The goal is not to work 24 hours a day. The goal is to avoid depending entirely on a single source if you can responsibly build other options. But be careful. Do not chase every opportunity. Do not jump from one get-rich-quick idea to another. Today you might see someone saying, make thousands of dollars in 3 days. Tomorrow another person says, this business will make you rich instantly. The next day someone promises, follow this secret strategy and never work again. Be careful. If something sounds too easy, take time to understand it before giving away your money or personal information. Real financial progress is often less exciting than social media makes it look. It may involve working, learning, saving, making mistakes, improving your skills, and repeating the process for years. It may not look glamorous, but it can be much more reliable than chasing unrealistic promises. Part 4. The first rule of money, spend less than you earn. Now let's talk about what happens after you start making money. Here is one of the simplest rules in personal finance. Spend less than you earn. It sounds obvious, but many people struggle with it. Why? Because earning more money does not automatically solve spending problems. Imagine someone earns $1,000 and spends $900. They save $100. Now imagine they begin earning $10,000. If their spending suddenly becomes $9,900, they still save very little. More income does not always mean more wealth. Your financial habits matter. Every time you receive money, you have a choice. You can spend all of it immediately, or you can decide where that money should go. A useful way to think about money is to give it a purpose. Some money is for necessities. Some money is for saving. Some money is for future goals. Some money is for enjoyment. And some money can be used to invest in learning or other carefully considered opportunities. The key is balance. You do not need to live a miserable life and never enjoy your money. But you also should not spend everything simply because you have it today. Ask yourself, do I really need this? Will I still be happy about this purchase next week? Am I buying this because I need it or because I want to impress someone? These questions can help you make better decisions. Part 5. Save before you feel like saving. Many people say, I will start saving when I make more money. But often when they make more money, their lifestyle becomes more expensive. Then they say the same thing again. I will save when I make even more. That day may never come. Instead, consider creating the habit of saving from the beginning, even if the amount is small. The amount matters less than the habit when you are starting. If you save a small amount consistently, you are teaching yourself an important lesson. Not every dollar that enters your life needs to leave immediately. Saving can give you options. Imagine your phone suddenly breaks. Imagine you need to travel unexpectedly. Imagine you lose a source of income. Without savings, every unexpected problem can become a crisis. But with some financial preparation, you may have more time and flexibility. You do not need to become obsessed with money. You simply need to respect the importance of being prepared. Start small. Be consistent. And increase your savings as your income grows. Financial security is often built slowly. One good decision at a time. Part 6. Learn the difference between needs and wants. This is one of the most important lessons you can learn. There is a difference between something you need and something you simply want. Food is a need. But the most expensive restaurant every day may be a want. Transportation can be a need. But buying something far beyond your budget may be a want. Clothing is a need. But buying new clothes every week just to follow trends may be a want. There is nothing wrong with wanting nice things. The problem begins when temporary desires control your financial decisions. Advertising is designed to make you want things. Social media can make this even more difficult. You see someone with a new car. Someone traveling around the world. Someone wearing expensive clothes. Someone showing a luxury lifestyle. And suddenly you may feel like you are falling behind. But remember this. You are often seeing a small part of someone else's life. You do not know their financial situation. You do not know their debt. You do not know what happens behind the camera. Do not destroy your financial future trying to look successful today. Real financial strength is not always visible. Sometimes the person who looks rich is spending everything they earn. And sometimes the person who lives simply is quietly building savings and long-term security. You do not need to compete with everyone. You need to build a life that makes sense for you. Part 7. Use money to buy time and knowledge. One of the smartest ways to use money is to think beyond simple consumption. Ask yourself, can this money help me improve my future? Sometimes, spending money is not a bad thing. For example, buying a book that helps you learn a valuable skill can be useful. Taking a high-quality course may be useful. Buying equipment that helps you do your work better may be useful. Paying for something that saves you significant time may also be useful. The goal is not to never spend. The goal is to spend intentionally. Think of money as a tool. A tool can be used to create something useful. Or it can be wasted. Imagine two people receiving the same amount of money. The first person spends everything immediately on things they no longer care about a month later. The second person uses some money for necessities, saves some, enjoys some, and uses some to improve their skills. Years later, their decisions may create very different results. Your future is often influenced by repeated choices. Not one perfect decision. Not one lucky moment. But thousands of small decisions over time. Part 8. Be careful with debt and easy money. Debt can be complicated. Sometimes borrowing money may be necessary. But borrowing money to constantly buy things you cannot afford can create serious problems. Before borrowing, understand exactly what you are agreeing to. Understand the payments. Understand the interest or fees. Understand what happens if you cannot repay. Never sign something simply because someone says. Don't worry about it. Take time to understand. Ask questions. Read carefully. And if you are young or unsure, talk to a trusted and knowledgeable adult before making major financial decisions. Another danger is the idea of easy money. People love shortcuts. That is why scams are everywhere. Someone may promise huge profits with no risk. Someone may pressure you to send money immediately. Someone may tell you that you have discovered a secret opportunity. Be skeptical. Do not let excitement replace careful thinking. A good rule is this. If you do not understand how the money is being made, do not rush to put your money into it. Take your time. Research. Ask questions. And never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. Protecting your money is just as important as earning it. Part 9. Build a plan for your money. One reason people struggle financially is that they have no plan. Money comes in. Money goes out. And at the end of the month they wonder where it went. A simple budget can help. You do not need an extremely complicated system. Start by understanding 3 things. How much money do you earn? How much money do you spend? And where does your money go? Write it down. You may be surprised. Small expenses can become large over time. Once you understand your spending, you can make better decisions. You can create categories. For example, essentials, savings, education, entertainment, future goals. The exact categories will depend on your life. The important thing is awareness. You cannot improve something you refuse to examine. A financial plan does not need to be perfect. It simply needs to help you become more intentional. Review it regularly. Your life will change. Your income may change. Your goals may change. So your plan can change too. The purpose is not to control every dollar with fear. The purpose is to make sure your money supports the life you want to build. Part 10. Don't try to look rich. One of the biggest financial traps is trying to look successful instead of becoming financially secure. People sometimes spend money to impress people who are not even thinking about them. They buy expensive things because they want approval. They compare themselves constantly. They believe success must always be visible. But real success can look very different. Maybe success means having enough savings to handle an emergency. Maybe it means being able to support your family. Maybe it means having the freedom to choose your career. Maybe it means having less stress about money. Maybe it means having time to do the things you care about. You get to decide what success means to you. Do not allow strangers on the internet to define your financial goals. Focus on your real life, your real responsibilities, your real dreams, and your long-term future. Part 11. Invest in yourself before you try to chase everything. Many people become interested in investing because they want their money to grow, and learning about investing can be valuable. But before putting money into something, understand what you are doing. Education comes first. Risk is real. Markets can move. Businesses can fail. And no investment is guaranteed to make you rich. Especially when you are young, one of your most valuable investments may be your ability to learn. Your knowledge, your skills, your communication, your discipline, your reputation, your health and ability to maintain a balanced life. These things can influence your ability to earn for many years. So do not feel pressured to chase every trend. You do not need to understand everything today. Financial knowledge can be learned step by step. The most important thing is to build a strong foundation. Earn, save, learn, plan, and make decisions based on understanding, not hype. Part 12. Think long term. The world encourages us to think about today. Buy this now. Get this now. Become successful immediately. But many of the best financial decisions are long-term decisions. Learning a skill may take years. Building a career may take years. Saving money may take years. Building a business may take years. Trust can take years. But those years will pass anyway. So ask yourself, where do I want to be 5 years from now? What skills will I need? What habits should I start building today? What decisions can I make now that my future self may appreciate? You do not need to have every answer. Nobody has everything figured out. But having direction can help. Even a small improvement today can become something significant over time. A small amount saved regularly can grow into a meaningful safety net. A skill practiced regularly can become a career. A small project can become a business. A single video can lead to a new audience. One opportunity can lead to another. But it usually starts with action. Part 13. Money should serve your life. Here is something important to remember. The goal of money should not simply be to collect the largest number possible. Money is a tool. And tools are meant to be used. Use money to meet your needs. Use money to protect yourself from unnecessary financial stress. Use money to learn. Use money to create opportunities. Use money to enjoy meaningful experiences. Use money to help the people you care about when you are able. But do not allow money to control every part of your life. A person can have a lot of money and still feel unhappy. A person can become obsessed with earning and forget everything else. Relationships matter. Health matters. Time matters. Peace of mind matters. Money is important. But it is not everything. The goal is not to become a slave to money. The goal is to become responsible enough that money becomes a useful tool in your life. Final message. So, how do you make money? Start by becoming useful. Learn valuable skills. Solve problems. Practice. Improve yourself. Look for opportunities. Be patient. And avoid the trap of believing that success must happen overnight. And once you start making money, learn how to use it. Do not spend everything. Save consistently. Understand the difference between needs and wants. Avoid trying to impress other people. Be careful with debt. Be skeptical of easy money promises. Create a plan. Invest time in learning. And think about your future. Remember this. You do not need to become rich tomorrow. You do not need to have everything figured out today. You simply need to make better decisions than you made yesterday. One skill. One habit. One lesson. One good financial decision at a time. Because financial success is rarely built in one dramatic moment. It is built through discipline. Through patience. Through learning. And through the small decisions that nobody sees. Start where you are. Use what you have. Learn what you do not know. And keep moving forward. Your financial future is not created by one lucky day. It is created by the choices you repeat over time. And the best time to start making better choices is today. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want more content about money, success, self-improvement, and building a better future, make sure to subscribe. And remember, don't just work for money. Learn how to make money work as a tool for the life you want to build.